What's going on, J Bros family? Hey, this video is going to be two parts. One, I'm going to talk about all things Jester. The next, the tank right behind me right here that we'll show you here in just a moment. We're going to show you how to rig these, different ways, different uses, all this kind of good stuff. So let's go ahead, get started with what we've got going on. This is our 3-inch Jester right here. This was the first one to make it to market, and people are like, Larry, you got to make a bigger one. You got to make a bigger one. And I'm like, okay, we'll make a bigger one. So right there, this is our 4 1/4. Now, some folks have given me some feedback that this body's a little too thick here. Well, what I'm going to show you is different ways that you can use these baits, and different ways you can rig them that this body does not come into play for you. But before we do that, I want to show you the different uses that you can have with this. You can wacky rig or Nico rig. If you can look real close, you see that O-ring right here, right up close, that's an O-ring. What do we got there? We got a nail in the head. So you can Nico rig the Jester. You can Texas rig the Jester. You can use the Jester on a jig. There's two different types. Swim jigs. That's not a swim jig, I'm sorry, that's an Arky head. But there it is on a Brazalo jig and a Kitech jig. Now here's the 3-inch with an O-ring that you can Nico rig with the nail in the head here. These look very interesting in the tank. I can't wait to show you this. Buzzbait trailer. And last but not least, this is the one that I fish with a lot, is a spinnerbait trailer. You can turn it up vertical where it's coming through the water like this, or you can turn it sideways. You can also use them on a chatterbait. So the Jester is a very, very versatile bait in what you can do with it, how you can use it. You can Ned rig it for sure, there's no question about it. Some of the hooks I like to use for the Ned rigs, for my personal preference, are the blockheads from Owner or the weedless blockhead from Owner. They have this Z-Lock technology that makes it weedless for you, but we're going to show you both of these in the tank. I'm going to show you your 4/0 and your 5/0 rigging options when you're Texas rigging, when you're punching thick mats for those big old hogs. So, you know what? Let's not make it a part 2. Let's just keep going here, and I'll just show them to you one at a time in the tank. Obviously, the spinnerbait and the buzzbait you won't be able to see in the tank due to being 40 gallons, not long enough to get it the blades to start spinning so you can see the action, but we'll do some other stuff. We'll be right back. All right, let's keep going here. I want to show you a couple of the baits in the water, well, the Jester in the water. But first off, I want to show you how I like to rig them first. This is a Texas rig with a 3/0 hook. And you're like, well, Larry, what's wrong with the back? Well, what's wrong with the back is you could take and cut this bait off with scissors if it's too thick for you, to where you can run a 3/0, 4/0, or even a 2/0 hook if you would like. This is a 3/0 that's in it right now. Now, if you like to run a 5/0 hook, I love running the Owner multi-purpose hooks here. It's just like a normal Texas rig, down through the top of the head, out, give it a good little twist there so your hook comes out here. Now, we all know how to measure our bait with our end of our thumb to where the hook point goes in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to measure the end of that bait. We're going to get it centered, and we are going to poke it through. All right. Now, if you noticed with that, your rib can be used to Texpose it. You can use this main rib down the center to help hide and make that hook weedless, or you can pinch it up and just barely Texpose it in one of the rigs there, or in one of the ribs. So that would be a 5/0 Texas rig right there. Now, and when the largemouth comes to chomp, boom, there's the hook right there exposed for you. So you can leave it like this, and when he chomps, there's the hook. Or you can Texpose it, and when he chomps, there it is, setting the hook. So you don't have to always trim the back out here. That's why when I'm Texas rigging the 4 1/4 Jester, I will always use a 5/0 hook. If I want to, and I'll show you how, we'll just take one of our peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. All right, who's saying it with me right now? So what I like to do is, you can do either end, okay? Dark end up, light end down. So what I'm going to do is light end down. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm just going to lay them right in here, and I am just going to trim this bait off, just like this. All right, see what I've done there? May have to just trim this just a little more right through here. And this is just getting it to where you want it, okay? How thick you want it. If you think the bait is too thick, that's just trimming it off. Now, another thing that one of my pro staffers told me about, if you want to take and trim a couple ribs off here, let's just trim them off here. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it all the way. And what's going to happen here for you is your weight will set flush right here, depending on what size of weight you want to use and when you pin it as a Texas rig. So I didn't have to trim because I'm using a smaller weight here, but I pin it right up top. Larger weight, as you can see, this will set flush right up against the body. You won't have any of the bait in the way to get snagged on the weeds when you're punching through those big mats. But that is one way to modify the 4 1/4 Jester. I've even seen my guys, they like to take and clip these last 2 tails off out here. I will not do that unless I find that it's not punching through and these tails are holding up. But if I'm punching anything an inch, inch and a half mat or whatever, I've got a 1 ounce, 3/4, 1 ounce, ounce and a half tungsten on here, and I'm pitching it up in the air and I'm going right through that mat. So keep that in mind. Other ways to rig. Simple old Ned rig right here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, for those old finicky smallmouth and all, but right there. And then same way with a jig, put it on a jig trailer, all that fun stuff. Now, I want to show you some fun stuff here. We're going to go ahead, start with the Texas rig on the small 3/0 hook right here. Small weight. It's going to be a slow fall presentation due to the weight. All right, I'm going to get you zoomed in so you can see here real nice. Let's get these in the water. See that nice little fall there? Not too quick, but this is our watermelon red color. All right, that was the Texas rig. We'll go ahead and show it to you on a jig next. This is a Kitech jig, black with a black and blue trailer. This is a 1/2 ounce jig, so it's going to fall a little bit quicker, obviously, but man, look how it makes those tails just stand up for that presentation. Boom, boom. The way I like to do, I fish it and I go 1, 2, 3, and if nothing, next hole. Or we can, I know a lot of guys like to just take and bump the end of the rod, get that jig going real quick. So it's a lot of different ways you can present this bait here. I forgot who told me, but if you were the one that did tell me about this, Nico rigging the Jester is just a regular wacky rig hook. Like I said, you've got your O-ring right here, nail weight in the end, and we are just going to rig this right up under that O-ring, just like this. Now let's get this in the water, see what this looks like. That nail makes that weight just stand up so nice, or the bait stand up so nice when it's just slacklining it. Boom, boom. And those tentacles jumping back and forth, kind of like a crawfish's tail trying to get away. So now that was the 4 1/4. Let me show you on the 3-inch. Same deal. Right here, O-ring. We will just rig it right up. Real quick. Same size hook. Oh yes. Tell me a smallmouth wouldn't come and chomp that. Now your hook size, I believe this is a 1/0 hook that you see in here. So you could do a number 1 or a number 2 hook to downsize your hook presentation, but just kind of give you an idea what that looks like in the water as a Nico rig. Let's go over here. We'll come over here and go left to right. All right. Now, what else? Let's go with old weedless Ned head. A lot of people love fishing a Ned rig for smallmouth in rivers, lakes, and Great Lakes. But you can kind of get an idea how that old Ned, that owner blockhead, brings this Jester to life. And with current, those tentacles would be money. Well, this is why it makes it a good river bait or a creek bait that's got smallmouth in it. They'll eat it up. Okay, we'll zoom you back out here. So, guys, girls, we have went over all things Jester here. We're just going to put all these back in here real quick. I've shown you how to modify them, cut them apart to make them work for what you want to do as an angler. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. If you've got any concerns, leave me a comment below. But the Jester is a very, very, very versatile bait to use in a lot of different applications. Nico rig, jig trailer, chatterbait trailer, spinner bait, buzz bait trailers, jig trailers, Nico rig, Ned rig, Texas rig. You could even Carolina rig this thing if you wanted to. So Check us out. Like I said, if you have any questions about the Jester, I know I'm a little lengthy on my video, but I want to make sure that y'all have the proper information when it comes to our baits, how to fish them, and how to be successful with them. But if you've got any other concerns or comments, leave them below and let me know what y'all think. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. I'm sorry for running a little long, but there is all things Jester. If you know of a different way to fish it, I would love to know how you're successful with them. And y'all be good. Have a great day. This is Larry Johnson from J Bros Lures. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell because we upload every Monday and Thursday, and we look forward to hearing from you. Y'all be good. Have a wonderful day. And always remember, here at J Bros, we design our baits with more action to attract more fish. Y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.